every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
No.
In the sense that,
No.
you know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying
There's more jobs to be
in LA, they always,
but
they don't,
Latinos are not only the
no,
only people
I didn't mean
doing
it like that.
We're going to go through some of the cringiest moments from The View, a repository of nearly all human stupidity. Total IQ, 7 p.m.
In the next few minutes, you're gonna see how Ben Shapiro took apart Whoopi Goldberg's wild claims about the Holocaust. We're talking point-by-point destruction of some seriously messed up ideas. Stick around to learn why celebs should maybe stick to acting, and how you can shut down similar nonsense when you hear it.
It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man.
No!
That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's
Well,
about
but
going
it's not-
after
it's
Jews
not about
and
race.
gypsies and
But these are two
Romans.
white groups of...
Apparently, her hair was not her only bad decision that day.
The Holocaust isn't about race. No. It's not about
maybe
race.
ethnicity. Well, they
No,
consider
it's
Jews
about
a different race.
But it's not about race.
Not only is that the worst clip in the history of The View, that is the worst clip in the history of television. Like, all of television history. Whoopi Goldberg is obnoxious and stupid.
Trust me, you'll want these comebacks in your back pocket. So Whoopi Goldberg thinks she's a history expert now. Give me a break. This lady's been reading too many of her own press releases. Let's break down what she actually said on The View. You're not gonna believe this, folks. Whoopi claims the Holocaust wasn't about race. Yeah, you heard that right. She's out here saying the systematic murder of 6 million Jews had nothing to do with race. It's like she's living in some alternate universe where facts don't matter. But here's the thing, the Nazis were obsessed with race. It was their whole deal. They had these crazy ideas about Aryan superiority and Jewish people being a separate race.
They picked on anyone who had quote-unquote Jewish blood. The entire thing was about race.
You in danger, girl.
But you notice, I mean, what she says there is not just stupid, by the way, it's despicable. The Holocaust was not about race. Ask the Nazis. The entire Holocaust was about race. All of it. Which is why they didn't just pick on Jews who observed Judaism. When she says the Holocaust is basically just flatten it out, it's just about man's inhumanity to man. It's like it's just like that time when you open your car door and you sort of bump the guy next to you and you leave a ding in his car, but you don't leave a note on his windshield. Man's inhumanity to man.
It wasn't just some vague people being mean to each other situation. The Nazis literally wrote laws about it. Remember the Nuremberg laws? They defined Jews based on how many Jewish grandparents you had. Not your religion, not your culture, your bloodline. That's racial thinking, plain and simple. But Whoopi's over here acting like it was just a disagreement between white folks. Whoopi tries to play it off like it was just man's inhumanity to man. Come on, that's way too simple. It's like saying World War II was just a big misunderstanding. You can't boil down the Holocaust to some generic phrase. It was a specific targeted attempt to wipe out an entire group of people based on their supposed racial identity.
She is so stupid. This is the same lady who thinks everything is racist. Everything and everyone is racist, except Hitler and the Holocaust. Genius, Whoopi Goldberg.
No way. Do any of you men have any eggs or...
Nope. It is about a genocidal attempt to exterminate the Jews, which has a thousands of year old history. And yes, it was rooted in race. And yes, anti-Semitism is different. And yes, you are a complete stupid idiot. My God.
The possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants? You have no idea. I'm fine.
And get this, when Ben Shapiro called her out, Whoopi dug herself deeper. She started going on about how race is just what you can see, as if the Nazis were running around with paint swatches, checking people's skin tone. It'd be funny if it wasn't so messed up. You know what's really wild? Shapiro caught Goldberg in this perfect logical trap. He asked her if she thinks men can have opinions on abortion.
If you disagree with abortion, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, you do.
My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
And Whoopi, being all woke and stuff, says of course they can. So Shapiro hits her with the zinger. If men can have opinions on women's issues, why can't he, a Jewish person, have an opinion on anti-Semitism? Whoopi didn't know what to do. She just kept digging that hole deeper and deeper. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion, except the car is full of bad takes and misunderstood history. You'd think after messing up this bad, Whoopi would just admit she was wrong, but nah, that's not how Hollywood works. These celebs, they get so used to people agreeing with everything they say, they can't handle being called out. It's like they forget that being famous doesn't make you an expert on everything. Ever wonder why celebs think they're experts on everything? It's not just Whoopi. Hollywood's got a whole bunch of stars who can't tell fact from fiction. Remember when Joy Behar said Black Sheep was racist? Yeah, that happened. But here's where it gets really messed up. These View hosts are out here acting like they've got PhDs in everything. Spoiler alert, they don't. Just because you can read a teleprompter doesn't mean you know jack about history, but millions of people tune in every day, soaking up whatever these celebs say like it's gospel truth. It's crazy, right? Think about it. More people watch The View than most actual history shows. So when Whoopi starts spouting nonsense about the Holocaust, that's what folks are hearing, not the real facts from actual experts. Nah, they're getting Whoopi's half-baked ideas served up with a side of daytime drama. And it's not just Whoopi. Joy Behar's over there thinking Black Sheep is racist. Like what? These celebs are so desperate to seem woke, they're making up stuff to be offended by. Newsflash, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. But here's the real kicker. When someone who actually knows what they're talking about shows up, these Hollywood types fall apart. Ben Shapiro walked in and took Whoopi's argument apart piece by piece. It was brutal to watch, honestly. He straight up exposed how her whole take was based on feelings, not facts. Shapiro pointed out that the Nazis were all about race. It wasn't just man's inhumanity to man like Whoopi tried to claim. Nah, it was a targeted attempt to wipe out an entire group based on their supposed racial identity. But Whoopi couldn't handle the truth. She kept trying to make it about what you can see, like the Nazis were running around with paint swatches or something. The worst part? Millions of people might believe this stuff. They hear Whoopi or Joy say something, and they think it must be true because they're famous. But being famous doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you an expert on history or politics or anything else. So here's the deal. Next time you hear some celebs spouting off about serious issues, maybe think twice before buying what they're selling. Crack open a book, look up some real experts. Don't let Hollywood rewrite history just because they've got a big platform. Because at the end of the day, facts don't care about your feelings or Whoopi's. Look, here's the deal. Celebrities need to zip it when it comes to complex stuff like history. They're not experts just because they're famous. Whoopi's Holocaust blunder. That's what happens when you think being on TV makes you smart. Next time some Hollywood hotshot starts yakking about history, don't just nod along. Crack open a book, look stuff up online. There's a ton of real info out there if you bother to look. Did you know 63% of Americans don't even know how many Jews died in the Holocaust? That's messed up. And hey, Whoopi, if you're reading this, stick to acting, okay? Leave the history lessons to people who actually know what they're talking about. Cause remember what Elie Wiesel said, to forget the dead would be akin to killing them a second time. So let's not forget, and let's get our facts straight.